It's time for another look at the Premier League title and safety battles going into Game Week 10. If you're playing Fantasy Premier or any fantasy sports league and want to get all sorts of geeky analysis, check out the PlayoffComputer app on the Play Store. It is what is being used here as the base for this analysis. And fair warning, this is a mathematical analysis without bias towards supposed good and bad teams. Odds and projections discussed may or may not match with betting lines and expert predictions. On to the title race. We're about a quarter of the way through the season, so we're starting to see some trends develop, but things could still be fluid. As of now, the computer's best guess is for 92 points to be a safe mark to aim for to take the title, with 73 being the rock bottom target to have at least a snowball's chance. Looking at the top teams right now, starting with Manchester City, they snuck away with a 1-0 victory over lowly Southampton to take over the top spot. That gives them about a 1-4 mathematical chance to win the title. They've got a few matches now with some of the Midland teams that might be inspired to take out the top dog. Bournemouth, Brighton, and the Spurs. Next up, Liverpool fell 1 point behind with their tie against Arsenal. Currently around 1-5 to take the title. They play a couple teams also in the hunt next, Brighton and Aston Villa, before an easier match against Southampton. A gap is starting to appear between those top two teams and the rest of the field. Arsenal, with that tie against Liverpool, is now 5 points behind, and their mathematical odds for the title are down to 9%. They'll get Newcastle this week to try to keep up with a big match against Chelsea afterwards. Aston Villa still hanging around the big boys with just one loss so far. Now, something to note with them is they have so far played only two teams that are in the top half of the table right now. So it remains to be seen if they are a true force to be reckoned with this year. Get the Spurs next, and then a big test against Liverpool. Chelsea beat Newcastle to get back on the winning train. 17 points and a 7% chance for the title. Manchester United and Arsenal up next. Brighton couldn't keep their streak going with a disappointing tie with the Wolves, and now they get to play the top two teams. Now or never, basically, for any title hopes. Nottingham Forest, the last of the teams within sight of the top team, beat Leicester to get up to 16 points and a 5% chance, which is far greater than what was expected of them. A couple chances to keep hope alive with West Ham and Newcastle upcoming before a test against Arsenal. Moving on to the opposite end of the field, the race for safety. Somewhere within the vicinity of 44 points should be a safe mark to aim for. For the teams in trouble, Southampton without a victory so far and just one tie. They are already realistically out of the title race and under a 50-50 mathematical proposition for safety. Everton and Wolves up next to try to get on the win board before Liverpool. The Wolves, by tying Brighton, doubled their point total, also without a victory. If there's any good news for them, note they have not played any of the other win challenge teams yet. They have already played all of the top 7 teams, so it has to get easier from here. About a 50-50 chance to make safety. Ipswich also still looking for a victory, though they have 4 ties. Lost to Brentford last week. Also realistically out of the title race, but 6 out of 10 chances to get safety. Crystal Palace finally got a victory under their belts of a win over the Spurs to try to salvage some respect in the league. To get to the 92 points estimated needed for the title, they would have to win every remaining game. But forget about that. They are having to worry about safety, which isn't what they were expected to have to do. Wolves up next to try to move more to the middle of the pack. That's it for now. Until next time, enjoy your day.